the first 100 persons get with a free of charge. Okozia 12 noon, the main Omega official launch will commence. Dr. Jude, the SBI chief medical consultant, Ghana there live all the way from Lagos. The Cubana Bishop, the African representative of this company, Cubana Bishop Ghana there live and direct. Come and be part of this change. Thank you. God bless you.
Darwin Ambassador Ifani Anthony maka nkọwage anya anugo kosiadi Darwin unne ofuma agama ewere igwe okwu hafe n'aka Dr. Jude Nguzoro ka o nwee ike chikonataze eyotago so that ebe na day ka maru aka nne gi na aka ekpe gi so that enwe ya pia gi ogwu ka isi ju ogoyi. Darwin,
thank you very much for this program. I'm appealing to each and every one of you to come that day for this program. Why? Because a lot of ailments are around the corner. Please, everybody, almost everything we eat have one problem or the other. Do you know that whatever you're eating that is not natural is a potential cancerous agent? Most of the things we eat today that are bottled and packaged have carcinogenic content in them. Most of the things they use in preserving them. But this product we're giving you have no preservative in
And we also saw in the news where some vehicles and then Hummer boxes, not just Hummer boxes, Hilux boxes, were actually distributed ahead of 2027 preparation. And we saw Nigerians talking on that angle. We've seen quite a lot going on in Nigeria. We have seen so many things going on, even the conference in Imo State, the economic summit. Nigerians are still talking about that very summit. So much to talk about in area of law, governance, and security. Joining me this very morning to look at a whole lot of these issues, one after the other, I have in the studio with me Chief Joe Martins Uzodike, Dikudo Oketiti. Chief Joe Martins Uzodike, the former commissioner for information and culture in Anambra State, and also one-time DG campaign of Obiano election. We saw all he did in Anambra State. He is in the studio with us this very morning to do justice to some of these developing stories, developments we have across this country. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Chief Joe Martins Uzodike. Remember, he's a legal practitioner and also barrister. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Tony, for having me. Welcome, listener.
And we have talked about quite a number of things. Let's begin by first asking you your take on the Supreme Court ruling. Yesterday we saw where Supreme Court struck that very should do a lot of things. We are content in that very judgment. But let's have your take first before we go into some of the things they said as far as that judgment is concerned.
Well, it's normally out of place for a barrister or a lawyer to be contending what is contained in a Supreme Court judgment. Why? Because Supreme Court is the final judge, the final court of arbitration in Nigeria, and anything they say is final. And to that extent, it amounts to just waste of time, discussing what they have said, because whether it is right or wrong, that becomes the law. The Supreme Court is the final aspect of our jurisprudence that enacts law through pronouncement in courts. So to that extent, yes, they have made their judgment, and the judgment stands as their judgment. But as lay people, as an ordinary person, as one is at sea, how our courts have been churning out judgments. You will agree with me that a lot of people are not at ease with what they striking out. Yes, strike out doesn't mean anything. Striking a case out means go and come again, maybe in a different form. Striking out, there's a difference between striking out and dismissing a case. When a matter is dismissed, it is hard on merit. All the pros and cons about it have been looked into, and then judgment is given. But when it is a issue of striking out, one technicality. And in this instance, we are learning a new one. They said it is the local government chairman, the local government officers that should sue the federal government and not the state where they are. It sounds to me ridiculous and funny. It is true that we have a three-tier system where you have the federal government, the state government, and the local government system. But to tell me that it is the local government chairman who is going to sue the Attorney General of the Federation or the President of Nigeria, bypassing the state governor, sounds ridiculous. But in their wisdom, they know what they should explain to Nigerians what they mean by that. Okay? And we have already seen instances where the Attorney General of the Federation intervened in issues concerning the local government. And if the under this administration, if the Attorney General can come in and say, give them the autonomy, okay, and a state government that has its nearness to the local government, or that owns those local governments, lacks the local standard to approach the courts, it is ridiculous. So I find the judgment, although the bottom line there was issue of releasing their funds, and they are, during the course of the judgment, maybe as Obita Victor, they admonished the federal government and said, you are flouting our law of autonomy. That is not a chastisement. It's not a serious indictment. It's not a ruling. But I think they only gave a leeway to parties and said, let's allow this administration, let it not be that they lost in court. That's what I take the court as saying. Let's not disgrace them. But gentlemen, what you have done is wrong. So it is neither here or there. Nigeria is getting into a new segment of quagmire that is difficult to come out from.
Let's look at one or two issues that is important that many Nigerians are talking about, the Supreme Court ruling and the mixed reactions. But let's take you back to when Supreme Court ruled on 11th July 2024 in a suit filed by the federal government through the Attorney General against the 36 state governors, where the Supreme Court granted financial autonomy to the country's 774 local government areas, and where it ordered direct payment of funds, that allocations from the federation account must be paid directly to the local government's own account, bypassing the state government. And also the court declared it unconstitutional for governors to withhold control or disburse local government funds through the state local government joint accounts, as previously enacted by Section 162 of the 1999 Constitution. Now, the Attorney General went to Supreme Court on the issue of local government and filed a suit against the 36 state governors on the issue of law. Do the state governors have power to withhold these funds? And the Supreme Court, being a court of first instance on matters between the states and the federal government, adjudicated on that matter. Now, a state, on the issue of law, went to Supreme Court to ask the same question the Supreme Court had asked, maybe in a different form. Has the federal government any right to withhold local government funds meant for my own state? Let us know the position of the law. And now the Supreme Court says, why would you bring it? And the Supreme Court did not ask the federal government at that point, why did you also bring that case? The Supreme Court would have told the federal government, allow the 774 local government to sue the states. But he didn't tell the federal government at that time to allow the 774 local government to sue the state, but rather it adjudicated it. Now a state is also saying, has the federal government power to withhold the funds meant for a local government of my state, or even give it to unrecognized local government chairman? Now the Supreme Court now turned and said, why would you bring it? Why don't you allow the 707, maybe the local government council involved, to bring this case? Is it not a double standard on the part of the Supreme Court, speaking with one mouth when it involves Mr. Keke, and also speak with another mouth when it comes to Mr. Kafo? What would you call this? Is it a way of setting precedents when we know it's a court of policy and it's also a court of precedents? So what would you call this? Is our Supreme Court bought over by the present federal government?
For sure, the stage is clear. You can see that let me make it clear. The matter was struck off. It was striked out. Therefore, if a matter is struck off the rule of the court, nothing stands on it. That matter doesn't exist. So tomorrow, no much can be placed on it. Even the issue that they have said in the course of striking out by saying that it is local government, tomorrow they can deny it and change on it, because the matter upon which it rested was struck off. That's the most important. The case of Attorney General of Osun State versus Attorney General of the Federation was struck out. It was not hard. That's what it means, because the parties are not there. Local standby. It is so. Once it's struck off, you see, but they are trying to deceive Nigerians. Our courts are playing politics with Nigerians, and that's the unfortunate aspect of what disturbs me, that the courts are playing politics with the lives of Nigerians. Just like you said, even the federal government, the Supreme Court ought not to have had the Attorney General, because the Attorney General was in contempt of an already 11th July judgment of the court. They were in contempt. They went to court and said, let no one touch this money belonging to local governments. Let it go to the local governments. Okay? And this time around, they themselves who went to court, and the court granted their request and said autonomy, they went and seized money belonging to local government. That is a contempt, a sheer contempt of the court. is of public knowledge and therefore can even amount to contempt in facie courier, because the court is everlasting. They are watching. All the members of the Supreme Court judges, every person is watching what is happening, and they know that it's a fragment. But rather than be called a bad boy, because what they're just, instead of chastising the federal government and saying, we won't hear you, go and comply with our order before you come in here to file a document. They accepted the pleadings to come in, and after coming in, they now said, go and tell the local governments to come and sue. Which local government will sue the federal government? And how will they stand, suing the federal government?
And when they sue the federal government, they cannot even, at the Supreme Court,
they can go to magistrate court and start from there. And before then, their tenure in magistrate court, their tenure will finish. In high court, their tenure will finish. And it is, we are playing, I don't understand. But that's
would you say the Supreme Court is bought over?
I don't know what you mean by being
bought over, being that they have been so magnanimous with the present government, especially when it is clear that it's double standard. But it was a split judgment because they constituted a full panel. It was a one dissenting judgment. We had just one person say no, going against what the other 6 have positioned. But the other dissenting judgment believes that the federal government have no business holding the money back.
Of course.
But the other 6, we are like on the technical ground.
What disturbs me a lot is that the Mr. President, His Excellency Tinubu himself, was one of those who fought this battle when he was governor, when his funds were seized by Obasanjo. Today, all those things he fought for, he's not standing by one. He's repeating the same mistakes he fought against. Everything he stood for is now, maybe they will say he wasn't a president. Now that he's a president, he's seen the realities of the moment. But that is quite unfortunate. I don't want to discuss much about it.
And remember why the funds were seized? Because when Adeleke became the governor, he dissolved the existing council and went on to have a caretaker chairman. But over the time, when the Supreme Court made a ruling that the caretaker chairman were not recognized by the law, he went on to conduct local council election, and the new chairman came on. But there was this disagreement because those who were there before the elections happened also started making claims of the rightful chairman of those councils. So there were 2 chairmen, one by APC, one by PDP. And the one conducted by Adeboyega Oyetola, remember their tenure, just expired. I think it was around September or thereabout. But before all these things, their tenure had not expired. But what the federal government decided to do was to keep giving money to those chairmen who were of APC and sidelining the one done by Oyetola, but done by the Adeleke. But in all of this, they had gone to court. Federal High Court ruled, and then Appeal Court ruled, recognizing Adeleke's faction. But in all of this, funds were seized at one point. Funds were given to APC chairman, but Supreme Court has struck out the case on technical grounds, saying that Attorney General of Osun State couldn't have brought this matter before the Supreme Court. That it should have been from the 7 or the local council involved, ought to have brought it to the State High Court. That's where it ought to start, and possibly to the Supreme Court, not the other way around. But Nigerians are asking Supreme Court question: when Attorney General of the Federation brought issues of local government before you, you went and entertained it, and because it was between you and the state governors. But now the Attorney General of Osun State is saying it's between Osun State and the federal government on the issue of law. So why are you striking it out? Perhaps better, we have heard what our guest said, saying that, it is what it is.
I don't want to be part of
it is what it is. So you're a lawyer. One thing about lawyer, they don't like castigating judgments, but they try to hold reservations. But Nigerians deserve to know better. Let's move away from that very matter and possibly move into a serious matter. And this time around, you saw what happened in Imo State Economic Conference, where the Imo State governor invited the likes of Ban Ki-moon, Boris Johnson, Joseph Boakai, and presidents of even Mauritius. And he brought these people and Dangote and the MDs of different banks. He wants to position Imo State, wants Imo State to be on the map. He wants investment in Imo State. He wants Imo State to be investment hub But Nigerians have asked questions about Imo State. How many of infrastructures have you been able to put in place to attract this investment? Are you doing audio marketing when there are nothing on ground for this investment to come? But Dangote said, you know what? Give me a piece of land and then just get it ready. I'm going to invest. Let's get a thought generally about what Hope Uzodinma did in Imo State. Nigerian reactions. Many say that there are places in Imo State you cannot even go and come back with your vehicle. There are places that are not even motorable. And here is the governor spending huge amount of money on Twitter. That is formerly, is being called X now, formerly Twitter. We are told that how much Boris Johnson was paid to come and make those speeches, that he had been relying on such engagement, speech gig, that's what they call it, speech gig. Pay him, he will come and market whatever you want him to market. Boris Johnson, former UK Prime Minister, and we are told that he has made so much money from such thing. But do you align your thought with what Hope Uzodinma, the governor of Imo State, did by hosting such economic summit in Imo State?
Well, any person hosting any summit, be it economic or social or summit, is a good thing. It's for people to elucidate, exchange minds and whatever. But my take is, why? One, why now? This is the last phase of the second tenure of Hope Uzodinma. And he is bringing an economic summit. Resolutions that comes thereafter and all the things, who will put it into practice? Why didn't you do it ab initio? I see, well, I don't want to talk too much. I'm on air and I'm public glare. The people's character. The character of leadership is what is important. If you go down deep and find out who are these people that are organizing these people, what was their function? You see, it is the same blood that is running on their veins. They're questionable characters, ambitions, and whatever. What determines investment in a place is not bringing foreign head of state. It is first of all the indigenous people of the place. If the place is good, then Imo people should have factories springing up in Imo. Okay? Before you talk about surrounding states coming in to invest, before you call about different zones coming to invest, before you call international people. And the man just came here and insulted Nigeria. He said that they normally send former vice presidents, former prime ministers to here, that we ourselves, we send video men, and it's terrible. So you can imagine that type of insult. So to that extent, it was a jamboree.
You call it a jamboree?
I call it a jamboree. It is another way of people making money because, like you said, they have to pay every minute spent by foreign partner you brought here in their own currency, aggregated in their own currency, not in Nigerian currency, and to drag them to come here and be talking and talking. And who are they talking to? The actual people who should invest, our Igbo sons who are in Lagos, in Abuja, struggling and so on. Are they there?
He brought Dangote. He brought MDs of bank. All these generations banks.
All the banks are looking for where to get money. So when you call them,
they are not for investment. They're looking for where to get money.
They already invested. Their branches are in the States. Okay, so they are there to. I didn't hear them calling Innocent. I didn't hear them calling Ibeto. I didn't hear them calling out to us and so on and so forth. So what is the bloody who about all this?
I don't know. I can't confirm this because some people are saying, based on research and reports, that Boris Johnson's speaking fees are typically in the range of £100,000 to £250,000 per appearance, approximately about $120,000 to about $300,000 per appearance. That's some people have made research and say that's his fee.
He has a right to so earn because.
What's the sense of bringing him if his fee is what we are told? Do you know what is £100,000?
This is part of the
that can build a lot of hospitals.
Of our 419 system of governance. That's exactly what we're doing because for him to be paid such, a lot will go with it. Okay?
How many kilometers of road would £100,000 construct? Because if you convert £100,000 into $120, we are talking about 1 point something billion.
Let us not go into it because the ordinary person who is listening might not be appreciated. You see, one rocket fired one rocket fired by our army into the is 150,000 pounds. 150,000. One rocket fired on.
Whether hit or whether miss or hit.
Whether he got the target or no, 150,000.
All right.
It's gone. So let's not count on.
But then there are people who are saying, I looked at Facebook where some people were shedding hopes on him over this, and someone said during the time of P2B that when he was about to leave, he went to Spain to woo investors when he knew he was actually leaving, and you were his commissioner then. Was that the case?
I am not aware that
he went to.
I said I'm not aware that we went to Spain to look for any investors.
We saw a picture where he was with Bianco Juku, who was the then ambassador of Nigeria to Spain, and both of them were together.
If he went there to visit Bianca, because he was.
I don't know if I can get the picture, so I can show you the picture.
Yeah,
it was said that it was for investment, and it was about leaving the government.
I never traveled anywhere for investment in the guys you are talking about, because I was part of it.
All right, let's leave that.
I
Maybe
will tell you where we went, but you are coming again to call a man who retired some 14 years ago. Why don't we concentrate?
No, we are just trying to balance what is going on in Imo State and probably what maybe have happened somewhere else.
We didn't take any economic venture in our last system. We were here consolidating and building and preparing to hand over, and we did hand over.
So what do you call governors who go outside the shores of this country looking for investors? Do you call that jamboree?
It is suspicious, especially when you don't find a team. A lot of them travel alone.
Okay.
A lot of them travel alone. You can't travel alone to go and look for investor. You must travel with a team. Okay? You're commissioner for industries, you're commissioner for this. They
will sign MOUs. At the end of the day, nothing comes out of these MOUs.
Well,
and let me ask you, you were once in government. How much does it take when it comes to these extra coach? Because if a governor is to pull a team and possibly visit any country in search of investors, these people will have their own extra codes. So how much is usually the extra code when you were in government?
Well, I won't remember.
You won't remember? Can you try a bit?
But I want to tell you that extra codes are aggregated in dollars.
In dollars, okay.
Because you're going out of the country.
Yeah, okay.
And depending on your level, level of the staff traveling, each person is entitled to his hotel bill, feeding fee. It's calculated, and once it's calculated,
is it up to $100, $100,000, or $30,000?
Depends on how long you're going to stay.
That's so much money. I can even make money out of it if I'm a commissioner.
How can you make money out of it?
Because if I'm given $100,000,
you go and sleep under the bridge.
No, not at all. I can look for a cheaper one.
Of course,
and make something out of it.
Even in Nigeria here, a lot of people, even when we were playing, some officials like myself, when we travel, I am the secretary of Rangers International. And I'm entitled to a suite whenever we travel with the chairman. In most instances, the chairman will not there. He might fly in, but he has his allowances. Those allowances given to me as secretary, because I come from a very poor background. I will go there and get another officer called Ejike Obu, the brother to Humphrey Nwosu, who late Humphrey Nwosu, Ejike Obu from Ojale. He's the masseur, the person who does the physical, the therapy of players. Both of us normally share one room, and I'll put my own in pocket.
You put your own money inside the pocket,
and I'll give my reason. Do you know what usually was my reason?
No.
That I want a place because I'm the one carrying the money of the team. I carry the secretariat. If it's outside the country, I carry all the passport of all the players. Once the players land at the airport and they exit after checking in, I take all their passport and put in my bag. All the extra code, all the monies are contained in my bag. And usually, I'll just go to Ejike is a very stout person, very strong person who massages all the players. I will just go to him and say, let's share a room. And we stay in his own room. Okay? And my own becomes savings for me.
Oh, becomes savings.
And I can tell you that savings is still up to today, resting in the bank where it was.
So they must have, got so much interest.
I don't know about getting so much. The interest is as big as I am.
It's good to be in government because those who are in government, at the end of the day, they'll move. Our president. You look at
there are
our
a lot
president.
of people who have been in government whom you find today walking on the streets. They have no car. Okay,
But
lots of them.
But we've seen presidents like President Muhammadu Buhari,
Yes.
President Goodluck Jonathan, President Obasanjo, and even President Tinubu.
Yes.
We've seen many times they visit foreign countries. They visit more foreign countries. In fact, on records,
Yes.
Obasanjo visited not less than about 120 countries. On record, Buhari visited about 120 something countries. And in all of these, there is coach money for this journey.
That is the appurtenances of the office. Okay, you see, when somebody said we pay this person 250,000 per annum, that is not the money. The money is what comes with the office, and this office, the office goes around with what you're talking about. When he travels, he gets a code. If I go to Abuja, for example, I'm giving hotel allowances, and instead of going to Nikon Nuga, where they pay 250, 500,000, 750 a room, I find myself in Wuse 2. A safari garden or safari hotel where I will just pay 15,000 naira and sleep and go away. The rest, which government has already mapped out, is your purse. So it is part of the office. If not, how do you expect a permanent secretary today that maybe earns about 150,000 naira? How do you expect him to own a car, build a house, marry, and train his children? No, there are other things that are embedded in the system, running costs. And running costs includes running yourself. Okay? The governor, for example, is paid salary, but the governor is fed by the state. The president is fed by the state. And when he is being fed, allowances are made for him to feed the nation. Because the president doesn't go to lunch alone, I can assure you that. Most of the governors don't go to lunch alone. During lunchtime, some commissioners will bomb in and say, gentlemen, let's go for lunch. And he will feed them at the post of the state.
Let's go for lunch. I think some governors have caterers who are stationed in the government house.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Let's go for lunch means let's go to the governor's lodge where lunch will be served. I don't mean going for lunch outside. Okay? So, and before P2B came in, he has said it once, every day one cow is slaughtered in the government house. I know somebody who supplies the cow. Every day.
Cow is slaughtered. And then I know the governor who was there before him was Ngige. So it doesn't mean Ngige was slaughtering a cow.
I said it's no usual tradition. I served G in Wobodo. So I also know that lunch, they will kill a cow. Apparently they will use up to half of it. But the rest will go. They will disappear. Because tomorrow another one will come. That is government for you. And
that's the tradition. But there's some governors that may not even buy that tradition. Like Ngige may not have bought it.
I don't want to start calling names.
You don't want to start calling names?
Yes, I don't want
to start. Who are you afraid of?
No, I don't understand you. The people you are calling are all my friends.
They're all your friends. You don't want to implicate anybody.
No, I'm not implicating anybody. Somebody says he shut down all the guest houses in Anambra when he came in. Because before his administration, there were guest houses where people come in, and those guest houses, guess it, they all have people who cook there. They have stewards, they have cooks, they have all stationed for those guest houses. And most of the time, they are idle because there is no guest. One weekend when there are guests, they feed them. So, but somebody came in and shut them out. So it depends on person's idiosyncrasy.
All right.
And what he wants. So
let's talk about insecurity in the country. The president has taken some measures, declaring national emergency on security, and we saw him relieving the then chief of defense staff. And then he appointed Oluyede as the chief of defense staff. Now he has also relieved the defense minister. He reappointed the former chief of defense staff as the defense minister. And he has also urged the state or the National Assembly to see to the amendment of Section 214 so that we can have state police for those states that wish to have it. And then he also said that some vigilantes and other, people who have been in this security work, the forest guard, that the government recognizes them and all that. And they also urged the military, the police to recruit about 30,000 men and women. And they also asked the DSS to also recruit forest guard and also declare the orientation camps of NYC to be the training ground for some of these people that will be so recruited. Are these measures enough? And then the Donald Trump saga, where Donald Trump labeled Nigeria a country of a particular concern. I would also want to find out from you, is there Christian genocide in Nigeria? We've seen Reverend Kuka, or Most Reverend Hassan Kuka, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, saying there is no Christian genocide. That genocide is not measured by numbers, but rather by intent. Not by numbers. It could kill 10 million. It cannot amount to genocide. But we've seen UN definition of genocide. We've also seen different definition of genocide seem to contradict what Most Reverend Hassan Kuka, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, said about genocide. And he once said during Buhari time that there was genocide in Nigeria. And now under Buhari, under President Tinubu, he is saying something quite different. But as by the way, let's get a thought about some measures taken by Mr. President. The US called that stopped the killings, that sanctions, of course, we saw where they have started issuing visa restriction and other things that have rolled out against Nigeria. Let's get a thought on all these developments.
Well, what we're trying to do in terms of security now is a fire brigade approach.
Fire brigade approach.
And because there is already a fire, and the fire is burning high, and that's exactly what we're trying to put off, But we are doing it pretentiously. All these measures we are shouting. All this, go and recruit police, go and recruit this. Is it today that it started? Is it today we know we're understaffed? They have recalled all the policemen following VIPs. Don't you still see them moving the roads with them? So this is they are just making pronouncements, maybe for the American government script writers to take note that they are doing something when nothing is happening. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, some of these measures are uncalled for. Okay. Christopher Musa exists. Why didn't you appoint him the what do you call it, the defense minister before? You created people who had no school certificate and appointed them defense minister, people who have no experience in defense or in military services.
Badaro was an accountant. Of course, he studied accountancy. He's an accountant.
I'm saying, why didn't they pick the officers themselves before in the defense? If you're going to defense, you look for people who have the defense training, and you use them. So in what we are doing is fire brigade. They're just trying to see how they can use words to ward off the U.S. And I can tell you, the U.S. I know, once they make up their mind, they're just watching and knowing how serious those watchings are. So, about Martin, Father Bishop Kuka, is so unfortunate. I visited him with P2B in Sokoto where he stays, and we know his high. All the things that are happening in Sokoto, the girl that was killed for they said he caused blasphemy, was in Sokoto there. And I know Father Bishop Kuka stays seldomly in Sokoto. He's always in Abuja because he's more political prone than the spiritual angle of his calling that he's doing. So, and I learned he even recently has an appointment by federal government. Okay,
which appointment?
I know he's member of this Peace Commission. There's another one that they have just given to him. I read it somewhere. Made him. So I mean, he's neither here or there. And for him to say Christian genocide or no genocide, you haven't lived in the north.
Is there Christian genocide in Nigeria?
There is a systemic plan to exterminate Christians in Nigeria, especially in the north. They want to finish with the north and come here. Any person saying it's not true is wasting his time. All the people that are being massacred in Benue and Plateau, are they Muslims? All the churches that are being burnt deliberately, not by the one they do by accident. They are just the ones that the kidnappers are doing, because from Boko Haram they have gone to different ISWAP. All these different groups have now come with different trade. When you create a market, people will come with different ambition. Okay, somebody will sell pepper, another person will be selling gari, another person will come for spare parts and so on. So the different people whom they have allowed to enter this country and harassing this country have decided to share their own side of trades. So, but to say that there's no deliberate Christian elimination, especially in the middle belt and in the north, is not true.
And Babagana Zulu, the governor of Borno State, said that Muslims are killed, Christians are killed, that he has even rebuilt over 200 churches.
When the gun comes, it doesn't distinguish. Bullets don't distinguish. It can touch anybody. But the issue is, what are the intentions of people who have any person who is going to the church to kill people? Is he going there to kill Muslims and so on? But that is not the issue. I think every person, like we keep on saying, all Nigerians, irrespective of their religion, needs protection, needs security. And that's exactly what we are advancing. But for any person to say that there were not people who had original intentions of exterminating people who are Christians. And look at even the Supreme Court judgment on Jackson or Johnson, the man who defended himself, and he was sentenced to death for defending himself, for being attacked in his farm. Sentenced to death. While all these hoodlums and Boko Haram people, they keep on, every day they are captured. The next day they are dressed properly and say they have repented and they have done this. I mean, let us build a Nigeria that I used to know. I'm only unhappy for you guys who are just growing. I was here before independence. I participated in independence, and I have been following Nigeria up to today by grace of God. So it is you guys that are growing up that they are deceiving, and we feel pity because maybe via the social media, you people have been acquiescing towards the nonsense they chuckle out of this country. It's quite unfortunate.
I think when you said the Johnson that was actually sentenced to death, we are talking about Sunday Jackson.
Jackson, yes.
All right, because we saw that the Supreme Court upheld a death sentence handed to Jackson, a farmer from Adamawa State, for killing a herdsman, despite Jackson's claim he acted in self-defense.
And the most important thing is, under how many months or how many years? Here you institute a case, criminal matter. It will take 35 years to try here. But this one, when was this instituted? Just fast. And the country was able to satisfy some.
Let's talk about this Jackson case, because it will benefit those who are listening. Because if you look at what the court was able to deduce, according to the court records, Jackson was attacked on his farm by a herdsman wielding a dagger. And Jackson disarmed the attacker and in a struggle stabbed the attacker. The attacker died.
The same dagger,
of course,
that attacker used in trying to.
But the Supreme Court was saying that the moment he disarmed the attacker, he could have retreated instead of using the same dagger to kill the herdsman. That he could have retreated. He could have run away. He could have run to any bush or even leave the scene than using the same dagger too. And the Supreme Court decision is final. And Jackson, who was on his farm cultivating, attacked by a herdsman with a dagger, disarmed the herdsman.
You can be pretty sure he will soon be released, because that's one of the conditions. That's one of the things that are training in the United States.
And the thing is, our Supreme Court again.
We are funny. We are funny just to satisfy some one or two fellows. That's what they're doing. They're not more thinking about the common man. The justice for the common man is now an illusion. Okay, so. I don't want to be like I'm not in a position to be talking about Supreme Court.
Because you're a lawyer.
Yes,
because you are a lawyer, and you said the approach so far by Mr. President is fire brigade approach. But sometimes we have seen fire brigade approach work.
Yeah, but let's pray it works, because with it works, we are safe. We want to be safe. We don't care how we are safe. But the issue is, are they really working towards being safe? There are other things that no problem. No.
I think let's quickly leave that, because issue of repentant Boko Haram, the Minister of Defense, when he was being screened, said there's nothing like, in fact, he would do away with anything repentance, that these people, they are not repentant of anything, that government has spent so much money putting white clothes on them, giving them food. These are people who have killed people, made some homes, orphaned so many homes, committed bloody atrocities, and all of a sudden government find this way of giving them food, giving them shelter, putting white clothes on them, and saying that they are being radicalized, and then rehabilitated, and the moment you leave them for some time, they'll go back to the same crime.
Well, he knows the terrain. Christopher,
that's what Christopher Musa said.
I know Christopher personally. He comes from the Zulu area of Sokoto State, the Christian areas of Sokoto State. I was the University of Sokoto and the president of the university, so the terrain is clear to me, and he knows what his people suffer. He knows what they suffer. Okay, it's only that he's in the army and he, out of brilliance, he came up to work. If ordinarily he's in Sokoto, how many people have you had in this Sokoto space who are Christians whose name are hard? That's why they go to the army and go to other places where they can raise their faces.
So, do you believe in de-radicalization? Repentance of these people? Are there things like this? Are they
he has an opportunity now to remedy the wrongs that he knows exist, especially amongst his people.
So he has opportunity?
Yes.
Can he do it alone?
He can't do it. He's a defense minister, but he's not commanding any of the troops. That's another quagmire. Okay? All the other chiefs, service chiefs, and what are their take? The problem is that what is our own security is being internally sabotaged. And that's exactly what the problem we're having.
Some people have called for Nigerians to be given arms, but some say that the arms will be licensed, allow people to have a licensed arm as we have in Ghana, and we also have in South Africa. In South Africa, you can bear arm to defend yourself as far as it is licensed. Yes. In Ghana, you can bear arm to defend yourself as far as it's licensed.
In Nigeria,
but in Nigeria, there was a time we are having such a system where people can go and license then gun and some of these light weapons for self-defense. But over time, during the Buhari time, he gave a marching order for arms to be retrieved from everybody.
Because they brought in the Boko Haram people and wanted us to be defenseless.
Who brought in the Boko Haram people?
I said they brought in.
Okay.
They brought in.
But I think the idea for this retrieval was to ensure that light weapons do not proliferate.
The idea is for us to be defenseless. And it's only fools that surrender their arms. And all those who surrender their double barrels never got them back.
You have your own double barrel in the village in the olden days.
I don't want to tell you what I have.
You don't want to say what you have.
If you come to my when you try,
so if any henchman
when you try me, then you know what I have. Okay? He couldn't think that.
But then vigilantes at that time we actually
they took their guns and never some of them they sold the pump actions out again back to the same people they took it from. So it's a terrible thing.
What do you think President Tinubu should do at this point? Should he just come back to the old system where people who have come of any criteria will be allowed to have these licensed guns to defend themselves?
Of course. Most big men have guns. So there are my friends who are in the class of billionaires who have pistols, very strong pistols. They are registered. They are given to them.
They are licensed.
The authority calls
they're not on now.
I don't know what they are still carrying their guns. They are in existence. My friends I know, and they get the powers. They go to Inspector General of Police, and he will ask for president's permission.
That is it. But
he will ask for president's permission, and they will sign it off.
But when Buhari ordered all these arms to be surrendered, so why didn't they surrender those arms?
They will. Now that they are asked to surrender their police, they surrender ordinary police. They are looking for somebody who is guarding himself with a gun. You are asking him to go and give back the gun. Some of those guns are in millions. The purchasing power of those guns they have, and they wield them and they go away with them. And a lot of Nigerians have them too.
So let's talk about solution because we're going to take some moments. Let's take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about ways we can bring sanity, especially in the area of insecurity. We've seen measures taken by Mr. President. You said this is fire brigade approach, but let's pray it works. But if we come back, we're going to ask you, what are the ways you think could be the best option? Because we may have many options, but the one that could be viable at this moment, at this time, for us to have security in this country. We'll be right back after the break.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
When the city sleeps, the river remembers. When the drums call, Onitsha awakens. This December, the call grows louder as Udala Radio joins forces with the Golibe Festival 2025. From December 26th to New Year's Day, the heartbeat of the East comes alive. Music, laughter, art, culture, and the unstoppable joy of homecoming. This year promises more energy, more color, more connection. A festival for every proud son and daughter of Igbo land. Stay tuned to Udala Radio, your front row seat to the celebration that never fades. Golibe Festival 2025. Exclusive media support by Udala Radio. It's not just a festival, it's who we are.
Your investment is just one drop. On its own, it can only do so much. Now, imagine a million more drops. This is the power of First Asset Money Market Fund and First Asset Dollar Fund. They pool your money with others to create a powerful flow, giving you access to great earning opportunities. Call 0201-889-4444 now to start with 5,000 Naira, $100 or more. Let us build wealth together. The First Asset Money Market Fund and First Asset Dollar Fund are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria. Please read the prospectus and where in doubt, consult your investment advisor, stockbroker, fund or portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor, or any other professional advisor for guidance before subscribing.
Merry Christmas from all of us.
Udala Radio
104.7.
Now hear the Christmas Day sweet pass. Let's go. Bells they ring for the street tonight. Children they dance on the Christmas light. Mama they cook jollof, aroma they rise. Yeah, for they smile, joyfully miles. No they for body love they warm. Afro be breathing, happiness don't come. Oh, from Onitsha city to every home. Now celebrate the Chinese food is on. It's a Udala Christmas. Oh, everybody gather make we jollof. It's a Udala Christmas. Turn up the music, make it go. Udala Christmas day sweet for Udala Radio. Udala, your number one vibes everywhere you go. Light up the tree, let it shine. Let it shine. Love for the season, make we share, make we bind. From morning to night, Udala hold you tight. Now Christmas magic, pure delight. Udala, Udala, Christmas day sweet, oh Udala, Udala, feel the beat, oh. From all of us at Udala Radio. Merry Christmas.
Kare Christmas ya wetalanye angole no bioto. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Udala Radio 104.7 FM, the voice of the region. When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
You're welcome back. It's to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM on Onitsha. This very lovely Saturday morning, the 6th day in the month of December in the year 2025. We're still in the studio with Chief Joe Martins, also DK, former Commissioner for Information and Culture, Anambra State, and a lawyer, a barrister at law, and somebody who has seen it all, an elder statesman as well. He has been responding to so many questions we have put across to him, and now we are going to ask him the solutions to insecurity, to security quagmire we have in this country. what are the ways to go? Because we've seen this issue of banter or this banter, genocide or not genocide. We've said there is genocide in Nigeria against what some people have said. You said you are disappointed in likes of Most Reverend Hassan Kuka, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese. You say you know him very well, and for whatever reason, probably because of new appointment, he has been given, which he did not tell us, and we are yet to verify the appointment anyway. But in all of this, what do you think the president should do? Or if you have to be the president, what are you going to do?
Well, I expect them to not to generalize the approach to their security. Although security matters are not what to discuss on air, but at the same time, there should be a marching order that all those who are in IDP camps should be returned to their home, given time frame. That's what I expect. That all those in IDP camps in Benue, whose land has been taken over by herdsmen, return them to their original place of abode. Once that type of order is given, and the different segments, the troops, the battalions that are stationed in the place are asked, make sure I give you between now and Christmas, let every person be in his from where he came. That is the order I expect. But giving all the general order, go and fight people in the bush, go and do the no. Let them have an order to go and reclaim the lands. That is key. As long as they remain in IDP camps, we are still playing. Okay? So the order should be have specific, targeted, measurable, indices for us to move forward. And like I said, starting with those who in IDP camps, there are some people in Benue have been chased out of their town. Their place occupied, and some people are occupying it. Those who chase them out there are there occupying it. The president should have give an order just like was given by Obasanjo at the OD1. Go and wipe out all those people. They go there and wipe them out. Mention it specifically.
But then the governor of Benue State, remember, Hyacinth earlier, has come out and he has said that there is no Christian genocide.
I'm not don't mind about those people. He's a reverend father, so just let me let me talk. We are seeing they're not telling us.
Okay, are they making political statements?
I said, what do you expect him to do when the reverend father jumps into the arena to become APC governor? Okay, and he won an election.
But he believes that there are no people occupying these lands that we are taking away from.
Let him send back the people who.
Why are they in IDP then?
Let him send them back. That's all we're saying.
If you think there are no people there, send them back.
Send them back to their place. The IDP camp is not a place. They are home. They have home.
And those areas, those IDP camps are not also somewhere somebody can stay.
You need to see the sorry site. Anyway, you were not born during the war. We know what refugee camps. We call it the refugee camp in 1967 and 78. You need to see prominent people coming into an open primary school and all staying there. That's where they shit. No toilet, no this, no that. Everything is outside. When you come there, it's like I don't understand.
That's number one order. Yes. Mr. President should ensure that those who are in IDP camps should be allowed to go back to their homes and ensure protection as well.
Because once they are sent home, it means that those who are currently occupying the place are eliminated. That is the only way you can eliminate. Have a targeted process. Look. This is in Newi. They have left their place. They are all staying here. Clear Newi and make sure these people are back there. So in trying to clear Newi, you will finish all those people who are staying there.
There is a retired army general who has come out to implicate quite a number of personalities in this insurgency saga. Yes. In fact, he said that he was retired from army based on his revelations. But at the same time, he mentioned names we cannot call here because we are not too sure.
Yes.
Because
I saw it also.
You saw it anyway. Yes. And then one of the persons he mentioned has come out and say that he's not in any way linked. And why I will mention the person's name? Because he has come out to deny all those things. Yes. Abubakar Malami, former Attorney General of the Federation, he has denied those things as social media taunts and said that nobody has any evidence. If you got anyone, bring one. So he has come out to deny involvement of any form of insurgency, just as we have seen even the Sokoto government. I don't want to talk about their denial about their governor following LSOT to see Nnamdi Kanu in the prison, but that's by the way. But Malami says terrorism financing claim was involved in a lawful. In fact, let me quickly see if I can quote Malami. It's important because since we are talking about this issue of insurgency, so his own statement, his own position, what he has come out to say. But some who are fingering him in all of this, remember he was Attorney General for good 8 years, and he was the one also fighting terrorism. So when such comes, you can imagine. So he made that statement yesterday, and he claimed that at no point, that's what he said. He said at no point in his public life, during or after his tenure, has he been summoned, questioned, targeted, or investigated by any security, regulatory, or intelligence authority in Nigeria or abroad in relation to terrorism financing. Let me quote him.
I mean, what he's saying is clear. He was not tried, and who is to try him? He is the chief law officer of the country, so no one is going to try him. And you see, I'm not ascribing to him again the position of one of those who are sponsoring terrorism. You know, he is there to fight terrorism. But the fact remains that if you leave undone what you're supposed to do, you are coerced. You become part of the system. You know, and so that's what it was under Buhari that amnesties were granted to Boko Haram suspects. Okay, you're talking about people coming out and not coming out. Let me be honest to you. How about Mr. Vice President of the Federation? That his pictures are everywhere, where he was dining with the Boko Haram leader that bombed the Niger distant. He was being traced. He ran away from prison and he was found. And his photograph was. I expect the vice president to come out openly and say, "I am not this man that you people are seeing. Maybe this is AI or this is that or that." Because copiously they are showing him. We need more deniers like that, because when they come out denying, then we know those who are not denying. Okay, so these are positive arms so that Nigerians don't feel helpless. Because for me, if I see a photograph where my Oga is dining with by the man who is killing me, I see the photograph, I have confidence is no more there. And that's the assurance Nigerians need. Look at guys like Gumi, who comes every day. I saw him again saying that the Boko Haram people should be put on the budget. We should be budgeting for criminals. You know? I mean, these are unfair.
You know, I think there are quite a number of people. Remember the United Arab Emirates published some names and made these names known to us that these are financiers of terrorism in Nigeria. What have we done with these names?
Nothing.
And then even the Army General was saying that let's revisit that list. That the people on that list, they, of course, from his own profession and what they have been able to do, they are connected.
You can be also sure that the Americans have their full list, because these monies with which they are not sponsored in Naira. These are trafficking monies that go through the wirelesses, you know, all over the continent, and they are monitored. Okay, they are monitored, but it is question of Nigerians. I have seen the federal government publishing some lists. Okay, out of panic measure, they are publishing some lists. Some limited, some this. You know, they know the individuals.
And then Malami, remember,
and they know those whom they talk to when they want to talk to the bandits. They are talking about non-kinetic means they have been using. Are they talking to dogs and cockroaches? They are talking to human beings who convey their messages to these people. And we see the same Boko Haram people coming to attend parties. Okay? With using AK-47. So they are known. And if you are known, then your sponsor is not far-fetched.
Well, in any case, Malami was invited by EFCC. He was grilled. He was in EFCC custody on sundry issues, but he has been granted bail. I believe he has been.
He's a senior advocate.
He has been released on bail. But in all of this, we keep our tab. We keep our eye on every other development coming as a result of that. But in all of this, the top Army General has made a lot of revelations saying that
Malami wants to be a governor of his state. He's angling, and maybe they will just push him to strangle him and make sure he doesn't become one. You know, Nigeria is a funny place. When they are thinking that way, they are doing the other way.
All right, but then remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM, and we have been speaking with Chief Jomaris Ozodike, and in all of this, he has shared his thoughts, his personal thoughts on so many things going on in the country. Let's talk about these pictures we saw where we saw some vehicles, Hummer buses, halos, and all that being distributed, and then these buses are marked for 2027. I mean, is anything wrong with...
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it, but then your principal has also made a statement on that. It's on his official, Facebook.
Who is my principal?
Your principal is Mr. P2B.
Say your former boss.
Okay. Your former boss. Your former principal.
Your former my former boss.
Your former boss.
Yes, and my former son too. My son is he's been my son is constant.
Oh, okay.
He's
your son.
Yes.
And your former boss.
My former boss.
And
he said he has commented.
Yes,
maybe maybe that is his about it, and they will talk. I didn't see the former bosses. I didn't get one. Did you get one?
No, but in all of this, he was actually trying to disparage such kind of attitude, But then Nigerians are also watching the whole development, and some have taken some swipe against him, telling him that during his own time, you know what you did in your re-election. You got buses, you shared these buses, so now you are against Mr. President. But that's Nigerians talking anyway. That's Nigerians talking. I'm not there. You need comment to back. People will find a way to come back at you.
Of course, because in Nigeria, nothing is direct, nothing is specific. People. It's a terrible country. The people you think you are fighting for are the people who are even going to take a swap from you the first shot.
All right, because we just talked about a retired senior military officer, Major General Danjuma Ali Kefi, who narrated how he was forced out of service, detained in solitary confinement, and subjected to humiliating treatment after uncovering individuals he described as suspected financiers and sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. But he did say quite a lot of things. When he commanded the Army 1st Division as General Officer Commanding, he said his ordeal began shortly after he was appointed in 2021 to lead Operation Service-Wide, OSW, a multi-agency investigative task force mandated to identify Boko Haram masterminds, expose their financial backers, and dismantle networks supporting their insurgency. And he went on to say that he was handpicked during the Muhammad Buhari administration to steer the sensitive operation. But guess what?
All these are old English that Nigerians know. There are things that are imminent. An order was issued, and 30 minutes later, 215 or 50 girls or whatever were taken away from a school.
Yeah.
Nigeria is talking today. They want to go and do investigation into who gave the order. Nigerians are still looking for who asked you to live here. They say they will set up a panel to go and find out who asked somebody to live here. That is the Nigeria that is I can't understand. You come to my village. You come to Oketi tomorrow, and they said the Udogachi people were stationed in a market, and 30 minutes they left their beat and went away, and we are looking for who asked them to go away. We set up an inquiry to go and find out how they were asked to go away. That shows we're not serious. We're not serious.
So what do you think we would have done?
What are you saying? The soldiers, are they fools? The president and commander-in-chief can even summon those officers and say, you have caused us some hardship. We're going to deal with you. Because who gave you order? Mr. Captain, who gave you order? He will say, they will mention names. Why do you want to go and hide it under the military canopy so that they will begin to talk about tomorrow? Before you know it, Nigerians will forget it. And just give them small money. They will turn back and say that those girls left on their own, that they killed the army and ran away. I will keep on telling nasty stories. In America, you commit a crime, under 24 hours, you are caught. Here, a command is given. The people are rounded up who obeyed the command, and we are putting up an inquiry to go and find out who gave them order to obey the command.
All right.
It's funny.
All right, let's quickly open the phone lines, but before we do that, we're going to go for another commercial. Once we are done with that commercial, we open up the phone lines and allow your comments. Of course, I've got one here, and then somebody was actually saying that Chief Joe Martins Uzodike know that Chief Joe Martins Uzodike know that Senator Hope Uzodimma, Imo State Governor, is currently under 1 year of his second tenure, but of course, he will be 2 years. By January 15, Hope will be 2 years.
Of course.
And immediately, January 15, the second term, the third year begins.
Of course.
So what it means that he's not currently under the first year of his term. And then another thing you said, of course, thank you for telling us that £100,000 is equivalent to about 200 million. And also, that Dangote will provide land for Hope will provide land for Dangote and others to invest in Imo State. What will Dangote build in Imo State? Is he going to build cement factories? Is he going to build, storage warehouses for Southeast? Has he brought any? Is there any Dangote investment in the entire Southeast?
Well,
I don't think. Is there any?
I don't have my records. I know when he fought to take the Niger Sem with Ibeto.
Yeah.
And they ended up closing the Niger Sem. I don't think Niger Sem has come up upstream again.
Niger Sem in Benue, in Ebonyi State.
In Ebonyi State. And just like Kalago.
Okay.
And Kalago is 15 minutes from
why didn't P2B bring him to Anambra State when he was the governor? And then give him
who?
Dangote and give him space to build a multi-billion industry.
Why must we bring Dangote? Why don't you bring Wankwo? Why don't you bring you yourself? Why must you people keep on...
The capital is the question. The capital.
Capitals are...
Yes, the capital.
It is the bank that gives capital. When I was coming, I don't know whether it's in your session that I was listening to an interview by Winco Foam, who now said they have now built in Lagos, in Oka, Abuja, and so on and so forth. And he said it's being sponsored by the Industrial Bank, Nigerian Industrial Bank. And they are sponsoring a lot of things here. Go to our industrial hub in Onitsha here at the bridgehead, and you see a lot of industries that are there.
You know why I asked the question? Yes. Because who brought him to Imo State?
Dangote.
Of course.
Dangote has been moved when P2B was governor. He was here twice. He's P2B's friend. Both of them are in the economic council.
Why didn't he invest in Anambra State?
Why must he invest here?
He should invest.
Why?
Because he is the African, number one billionaire, and he has so much network to bring investment in Anambra State.
My friend will ask you,
probably, maybe some people who are commending Hope for bringing him in area of investment may be right. I don't know, but
maybe I take it more of as advisory capacities. To come and say how he started, so that young men can look forward to taking him and whatever. All these are magnets here. We have oil magnets. The oil industry is being, handled by people of this extraction. Okay. And if they bring some of their investment, like some of them are doing now, some are building hospitals, some are building schools, and so on. If they go to Aguoka and Environ, we can even take up Uguaba, which ought naturally to have been in Anambra. I know the politics that made Uguaba to belong to any state.
I thought that it should have been in Anambra State.
Of course, we were not born there. We went for.
We know the politics anyway.
We know the politics.
We know the politics. So let's quickly take a moment. When we come back, we are going to open the phone lines to entertain your submissions on Crossfire. Remember, we still have Joe Martins Ozodike, who can narrate how it happened before the war, what happened during the war, and what is also happening after the war. Let's take a moment. We'll be right back after the break.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, I'll pack it on the Tozialo. Wendy's bread, Mama, Papa, they like Wendy's bread, Chichen and Duo. Wendy's bread, even children, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, and in town. Wendy's bread, get it better, tasty, we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread, Wendy's your bachichoma. Wendy's bread,
Wendy's bread, tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, 2nd Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza at Tandy Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Anambra, the rhythm returns home. This December 28th, Oka will breathe in rhythm and shine in gold. Lagos Jump Off 3.0, the homecoming edition, featuring Annie Dons Onyetaka, Blaze Jarek, Mr. Raw, Slow Dog, Charles Okocha, PB Ninja, Ivata, Diamond Okechi, Eaglet Davidson, Casey Kubana, MC Monica, Aboifi I Go Talk, Slim Sherry, Waga, Ejai Kwamba, Go to Onitsha, Hype Man Extraordinary, Harry B, Hype AO Machine, DJ Fresh Omen, DJ Alonso, DJ Spin Daddy, DJ Factor, DJ Fabuloso, VVIP table, 3 million naira, VIP table, 2 million naira, regular table, 1 million naira, cocktail table, Couple, 300,000 naira. Standalone or working guest, 150,000 naira. For reservation and inquiries, do call 0913-484-4336 or plus 1970-258-0990. Lagos Jump Off 3.0. The Homecoming, December 28th, Anambra State. This event is proudly packaged by CNN Entertainment. Be there.
When you think of roofing, think of strength. When you think of durability, think of beauty. And when you think of all three combined, think Best Aluminium MFG Limited. At Best Aluminium, we don't just manufacture roofing sheets. We create protection, comfort, and style for your home and business. Whether you're building from scratch or repairing an old roof, we have exactly what you need. Our products include stone-coated roofing sheets, aluminum roofing sheets, and colored roofing sheets. But that's not all. We also offer residential and commercial roofing services, roof repairs, gutters, emergency roofing services, and even durable cookwares that bring quality to your kitchen. Visit us today at 30/32 Anyika Street, Awada Obosi, Anambra State, or call us right now on 0806-416-2374 or 0706-059-6203. With Best Aluminium, you're investing in peace of mind, in beauty, and in the future of your home. Because when it comes to roofing, the best choice is always Best Aluminium MFG Limited. Tomorrow's technology today.
Ụbọchị dum jupụtara n'ọtụtụ ihe omume mana ego gị nọ nkịtị ebe ọ dị. Ọ bụrụkwanụ na nrụsi ọrụ ike dịka ị na-eme, kwụsịlata n'oge a mee ka ego gị rọrụ gị ọrụ. Sonye n'amụma First Asset Money Market Fund na First Asset Dollar Fund ma nweghachita ihe dị mma. Jiri naanị $5,000 $100 wee malite. Ngwa kpọọ akara 0806-494-5838 ka ị malite ịmụba ego gị. Ka anyị gbakọ akụnụba anyị ọnụ. Edebanyere aha First Asset Money Market Fund na First Asset Dollar Fund n'akwụkwọ ụlọ ọrụ Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria. Biko gụọ akwụkwọ mgbazi oluso ya ma ebe ọbụla ị na-enwe obi abụọ. Kpọtụrụ onye investment advisor, stockbroker, fund maọbụ portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor maọbụ onye ọzọ ma ihe a na-akọ ka o duzie gị tupu ịmalite.
Golden Promise Fiesta 1.0 2025. Be there at the biggest fiesta of the year. Join us live at Sonia Hotel, Sawait, 153B Eziweka Road, Awado Busi, Onitsha, on the 20th of December 2025 by 5 p.m. till dawn. It'll be a night of unforgettable entertainment, comedy, dance, and thrilling musical performances from Annie Dons, Professor Chikobi, Sawan-on-One Women Leader, Twin Parrots, Abuchi Obusi, and many more. Tickets are available now. Regular 2,000 naira, VIP 10,000 naira, VVIP table of 5 persons 500,000 naira. Get yours at number 1 Ngozi Obago Plaza, 20 Enugu Road, Onitsha, or number 1 Pampam Lane Suite, P25, second floor, Merito Plaza, Main Market, Onitsha. Before the tickets sell out, contact us on the following numbers: 0814-394-2802 or 0808-441-5156. Golden Promise Fiesta 2025, proudly powered by Golden Promise Entertainment, sponsored by Melvin Table Water and Callisto's International Limited. Don't just hear about it, be there. When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
You're welcome back. It's still Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. This very beautiful Saturday morning, today being the 6th day in the month of December in the year 2025. You're welcome back. Let's quickly open the phone lines, but before we do that, Chief John Martins, you know, before the election, you were here. But since after the election, we've not seen you. I remember when I called your phone, I was asking you, did you travel? Are you in Australia? Are you, I was asking you all these questions. You told me that you are here in Nigeria. We've not seen you since after the November 8th, 2025 gubernatorial election in Anambra State. I don't know if you have anything to say. Where were you? Did you also cast a vote? Did you vote? Who did you vote for? Chief Joe Martin Sosodike.
Well, it's supposed to be a secret ballot, but the fact remains I didn't vote.
You didn't vote?
I didn't vote.
Why didn't you vote? I expected you to vote for a candidate.
I was looking for my card. I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find the voter?
I'm old now, so I didn't know why I misplaced my card, and I didn't vote.
You didn't vote?
But I would have voted anyway.
So if
I found my card, I would have voted.
Who would have voted for?
You won't ask me that. Because I will claim that you want me to say that it is the person who won that I voted for. If I say otherwise, I will be caught, isn't it?
No, I wanted to know who you would have voted for.
I said here that as things unfolded, that the best candidate will win. And
the best candidate won for you?
Of course, a number of people. I mean, this is the first time we're having such a number, coming to vote. All right? And but I know the simple, they're not coming to vote because they like voting. They are coming to vote because they know that they are.
That your road, the one that leads to your town, okay, that Ibupu Nobi, it's been dualized. I don't know if you understand the road I'm talking about.
Nobi. I told you that it is originally in the map.
Okay.
Federal government map. Dualization of Nobi Umunze Road has been there all the time.
But
but the present governor is actualizing it because apparently he was in touch during life of Ekweme because Ekweme was regretting for not doing that road.
Okay.
In 1980, there was a tussle between Jim Wobodo and Ekweme over that road. Okay. That time I was in NPP, which is Jim's party, and we fought. Ekweme wanted to do it asphalt dualization, but Jim Wobodo,
as a governor.
Ekweme as a vice president.
No, I'm talking about Jim as a governor.
Yes, Jim as a governor insisted that he was going to do the road.
He was going to do the road.
We did it, surface coating, and that people appreciated it because that was what is invoked then.
That was what was invoked, but over the time, that road seems to have been neglected, and that road connects a lot of towns and a lot of places.
It's a trans-state road. From there straight to
so if it's completed, if that road is completed, so what it means that within the space of 10 to 15 minutes I'll be in Umunze or Ekulobia.
From where?
From Nobi.
No. How can you? There is no. You can't perform the magic. You will say it will shorten the distance by half.
I've tried it before. The last time I did it was about 30 minutes. I'm thinking that if it's done,
you mean from Nobi to
Ekulobia.
Hey, you're talking about the Ekulobia. Ekulobia, yes, is understandable.
All right, let's open the phone lines. And remember, you have to be very direct because we don't have so much time. Let's quickly open the phone lines. You can call 0803 221 6973 or 0803 827 6694. Chief Joe Martins will be handy to take your questions. Remember, you can also go to our social media platforms to ask your questions. We're going to read questions we have there. Go to Facebook. The program is live on Facebook. You can even watch us. Go to YouTube. We can take questions there. Let's take the ones from the studio lines. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my chief speaker.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Chief Jomatin Uzodike.
Thank you, my brother.
The voice of Honorable Ibenze, Mayor Okuchukume Okuzora, you are MC in 40 years anniversary Lady Council.
Thank you, sir.
Can I go on?
Go on, sir.
Jomatin, in fact, I always like to hear your voice because you always hit the nail at the head of the hammer at the head of the nail. Yes, and you are so much experienced, and you always call a spade a spade. May God continue to bless you for us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes, let me go straight in talking about the insecurity in Nigeria. You see, from all the explanations and from all the analysis made this morning, it is exclusively clear that the government of this day are not fighting insurgents. They are not fighting insecurity. Because why? They know the secret and they know everything about insecurity in this country. Yes, this is crystal clear. Yes, you can't tell me that maybe I employ somebody to do a job for me. After again, I will go and arrest him and to shoot him. It is not true. So I want to ask the people of Nigeria, like the Martin have said, they disarm some part of the country to be defenseless by collecting their guns. But I want to tell you, the only thing that can solve insecurity in Nigeria is one. When the people at the helm of government of Nigeria start selling themselves food and they stop financing insurgency, this is number one. Number two, allowing people to be a gun like Ghana people and South Africa. Yes, sometimes like this, there was a day.
Remember, you have a minute. Remember, others are waiting. Just wrap up so that we can also.
What I want to say in the end is that the country is almost a shattered, and the only thing that can solve this problem is not telling us that they will do this, do that. Put it in action, like Martin said. That the people, the president is supposed to follow that. Who order you to leave that place? That is right.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your thought. Please make it brief. Many people are waiting, many are on the queue. So make it easy for all of us so that we can really do this in a jiffy. Good morning, you're welcome. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Good morning. You're welcome. Remember, you have a minute, so your time.
To start with, it's Mbari would have come of shoes in Imo State, and it's a joke. Then you got some historical facts that should have been brought to bear in Imo State rather than that one side. And if you recall, Russia Okorocha, I don't know what he was trying to do, but I remember him building all kinds of monuments only to end up destroying them as taxpayers' money. Now to Malami, if I have a grudge in Buhari's government is against Malami, what? He said he was going to declare state of emergency in Anambra State. Till today, no one has asked him why, on what grounds, on what authority. He said so, and he threatened us so much. Until today, he's not been questioned. Thank you very much. I like you. Ask Malami.
All right, thank you so much. We have to let you go. Thank you so much for your submission. Let's go back to the phone lines. You can call the other line. It seems that we are making use of one line. Please, for those of you who would like to call. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, DK Udo Okechike.
Thank you, my brother.
Nukumongo in the studio. You're welcome. My name is Mario Keshuka, calling from Onitsha.
You're welcome. Please go on.
And that reminds me, I'm the good Okechike. This year, I got one Christmas on entire Bagodi. But Sasika, well, I'm very happy to be hearing his voice because one more of the studio, I always like so many things he's always saying because when you're a politician, he always talk as an elder statesman of God because of what's the interest, maybe any position or something like that. That is why I always love hearing from him. So almost everything he said, I concur. On a personal stage, this issue of creating new states, the other states and all that, with the Kendi Asabana, Kendi Dr. Danyoma. Do you know about it? I mean, how possible are they higher creating the Southeast? Because all in Kendi Danyoma. Possible, but
no, they're having problem with their own. They have dissociated with the network. There were some stakeholders who came out to say that no, they cannot have Anyama in Southeast. They want a state in South. So they are having a big problem. So the issue is there are those proposing a name state, a Titi state, other states, all in the Southeast. So you have
I always like to hear his own.
All right, he will give you his thoughts about it. All right, thank you so much. That will be by the time we open. It's time for him to just make comment on some of these reactions. He's going to talk about what he thinks about it. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Chief Dr. Dim
Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Abam Gadim is Yafakego streaming the airwaves from us tomorrow.
You're welcome.
Yes, for those who do not know you, I started listening to you right from commentary booth way back 70s. You are always on point, very analytical, very intelligent, very smart. Thank you very much this morning for giving credence to the questions my brother Tony Olisa Mbeki fired at you. Yes, you see, I am one of the pre-independent beings. We enjoyed Nigeria way back then. Nigeria is not what it used to be. Why? Because Nigeria, the positions today, soon after the Civil War, they derailed. They misinterpreted Nigeria, and Nigeria went off balance. Let me tell you, Nigeria is the problem of the world. Solve the problem of Nigeria, the whole world will be at peace. But then, can our politicians learn? Of course, they can't learn. Religion, ethnicity, were not back then. When Zik, First Republic, was there. You see, the solution to the Nigerian problem is regionalism, regional government. Listen to Mazen Nandi Kanu, my Lord and my Savior. Take to his advice, Nigeria will be better.
Remember, you have a minute. We have
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have to let you go at this point. Thank you so much. Restrict your comments to a minute so that we have as much as people who are on the queue for them to come in and make their own submission on your queue. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning, my honorable speaker.
You're welcome.
Yeah, nice and nice to say good morning this morning.
You're welcome. Can you be audible a bit? We are.
Yeah. My name is Honorable Chimubu. I come from Agruzibo.
Chimuba, we call it from Aguluzibo. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say something on issue of appointment given by Defense Minister Musa. So what I want to say is that will he be given chance to do something he knows very well to be doing, or will he be having another voice that is going to restrain him as a defense staff? I believe that if he will be given a chance and given the amenities to work, he will do very well. And I want to ask a question, like the guest in the house, please, what is your position concerning what Buhari said, fighting the Boko Haram is fighting the war north? Because I coming out from the issue of fighting the insurgencies in the north. I want to know more about that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. His take on what former president said. That was when he was actually not a president, but then we know when he's made a very statement that fighting Boko Haram is fighting the North, but then he later became president. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome.
It's my pleasure to be here. This is the voice of the JC Akwobi, aka Show Me the Law. I greet your guest in the house this morning.
You're welcome.
Yes. Tony is laughable. The state of the nation, the insecurity. It is very clear that we don't have a leaders that have an analog brain or mentality and want to perform like a Don Trump of America, that have a digital brain, that have foresight, that have idea of what to do to fix both the economy and every other related problem of America. So the ship is down, and it's getting bad and bad. It's getting worse every day. What is our senators doing? It is not a time to pass a vote of no confidence, on the Mr. President. It's not a time. When he says they say you are talking too much, and you will be handcuffed, even in the media. Nigerians are dying. What is number one oath of the Mr. President to take to protect the life and the property of Nigerians? we are today, ordinary citizens are being victimized, judiciary has been compromised. We must stand up and speak, or we all die one day. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Kwebi. That's your thought, that's your take. And let's see if we can just take one or two more call or three, and then allow Chief Jamati Susodike to come back to react to this call. Good morning.
Dr. Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, Chidi Chukuma joining you from home.
You're welcome.
And very good morning to Chief Doctor, Chief Barrister Joe Martin Uzodike. I'm very happy to hear your voice once again.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for coming to us. Yes, I don't want to ask you any question because your message is very, very clear, very, very rewarding, just as always. Then on the issue of that economic summit in Imo State, when you come up with that issue yesterday, so many people reacted, and most of their views are the same. Just as we agree with our guests this morning on that issue that it was just a jamboree, and I don't know what is happening in Imo State. Is it a cause or is it a punishment for the people of Imo State to be having leaders like this? Because the administration of one of them who decided to be molding status of people, even some of the people facing a trial in their country, he decided to waste a whole lot of money, the money that he's supposed to use to build Imo State. He used it to mold the status of the people and also to change some critical area in Imo State after somebody from another region, even Santa Maria Avenue. The signboard and everything about that avenue was dismantled to replace it with that of Muhammadu Buhari. It created a whole lot of crisis in Imo State, and this one has decided to invite. What is that weighing of such a caliber of people in a state, not in Nigeria, but in a place that is very, very hostile environment. The place that even the people of Imo State, most of them are outside Imo State. We have some of them who have not visited their area. Imo State is just like a conquered territory, and what they need now is to reunite them and to redefine themselves who they are and who own the land of Imo State. Is it a stranger's element or the people of Imo State? Most of them are here in Anambra State, not because they want to be here, but they are here to save their lives, and the governor decided to waste a whole lot of money.
Remember, you have a minute.
Because most of the people here, or the visitors, they came with a Tatari plane. Who bears the cost of that journey coming to the Imo State? You know the caliber. What do you have with the former UN tribe, and also the president of Boris Johnson and the other presidents? What kind of investment do you need from them for inviting them to Imo State to waste the money that you're supposed to use to develop the state?
All right, thank you so much.
Very, very, I don't know how to just describe it.
All right, thank you so much. We have to let you go, Honorable Chidi Chukuma. Remember, you have a minute, and then you have spoken beyond 1 minute. You have to allow others to come in. You're actually expressing your displeasure on what happened in Imo State. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning to you, Chief Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome.
Voice of Wisdom Sack from Asaba.
Wisdom Sack, please. Share the...
I greet you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Share the wisdom with us.
Yes. Tony, I have nothing much to say, but I just want to thank our guest in the studio, Dr. Nzedike, for all the analysis, all the talks, all the wonderful comments that he has been making. I think he's one of our, he's among what I'm going to call an unusual politician. So I want to thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
And Chief Dr. Nzedike, please, were you a teacher in CKC?
Were you in CKC?
Of course, I was a teacher in CKC. That's the bozos of CKC when I was there.
Okay, bozos of CKC when he was in CKC. Let's go back to the phone lines. We're actually managing time very well, so to ensure that everybody comes on board. There are many people on the queue. Remember, we are making use of one line for those who are calling the other line. I don't know what's wrong with that line. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. Oh, Tutoma. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
There we
You're welcome. You're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is the voice of the chair. You're calling you from
You're welcome.
This morning.
You're welcome. Please go on.
This issue of insecurity that is happening in the north, especially in the north, if they can use half of what they use against Mazov, what people view was the governor, this issue of insecurity will stop. The northern elites and the governors, almost all of them, the traditional rulers, they don't want to do anything. There was a time that someone said that attack on Boko Haram is attack on the northerners. These people are setting us back. Money that was supposed to use to develop our country here in Nigeria. Two schools, building infrastructure and companies to employ our youth. We are using it to buy ammunition, to fight terrorism. And they don't want to tell the truth. Please, if they continue, we will not see we will not see the headway. It is better for them if they don't want to cooperate, if they don't want to come together, the northern headers and the leaders. Let us, everybody go separate way. That's my own contribution this morning.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see if we can just take some comments on social media, and we'll come back to Chief Jomare Susarike. And we have Mazin Warrior Chikwadorum Osinachi. He says, "Good morning, my honorable speaker and Big Daddy Chief Joe Martins Osodike Dikudo KTT. I enjoyed every bit of the conversation. It's really crossfire. There is high level of insecurity in the country. Dikudo assist me to get 1 peso to defend myself." I think that is more like sarcasm. May this weekend brings us peace. I'm commenting live from Odapu. Thank you so much. And then Oluchichima says, "Good morning, Tony and Mr. Osodike. I just want to say that the president lacks the seriousness to fight current insecurities in Nigeria. How can he fight his fellow Muslims or the Trolleys organization in Nigeria? They are all Muslims. The president is a Muslim, the vice president is also a Muslim. That's why they don't want to accept the fact that there is a Christian genocide." That's their own thought, that's your own opinion. And that's Oluchichima. And then we also have Tony Ndubreze. "Good morning, Udala FM. Tony, you don't want to mention the names because you are part of them. Whoever does not want to mention the name of those who are doing this, it means that the country will not progress." I don't know what you are talking about anyway, because there are people you mention their names when you don't have a critical evidence about what you are mentioning their names for. It means that they can see you for libel. So you have to see it from that angle as well. Also Francis Omaga Namani. Also Francis watching live from Amagunze in Enugu. "Good morning, my people in the studio, and keep the good work." Chi Moba Ume says, "Good morning this morning, my speakers. Thanks you, Tony Olisa Mbeki, for the analysis, and the gentleman in the studio. We are all watching. We are watching you people are staying so full. Thank you so much." We also have quite a number of them. Chief Martin Sozarike. We have to also acknowledge all the comments we have here. We appreciate all of you. Let's go back to some of the questions asked, the comments, the reactions. What's your take on some of these things?
Well, let me start with the gentleman who asked whether the Chief of Staff, Christopher Musa, will be given the free hand to achieve whatever we thought is what he's come from. My answer is this. He is the defense minister, and the duty of the defense minister is to advise on issue of defense to Mr. President. He's a member of a cabinet. So he cannot do more. He cannot do more than advise the president, who is commander in chief,
and also come up with some policies.
As he will articulate policies and give to the Mr. President, that he can use those policies and instill it on the chief of staff and ask them to carry on. So he has a major role, because we have a president who is not a member of the armed forces. He has no much security knowledge except the ones he gathered as a governor. So Christopher Musa, the general, will do a lot in educating the president and allowing the president, because whenever the service chiefs are there to discuss with the president, he's bound to be a member of that discussion as chief of defense staff. So he will do a lot, and then also monitor to make sure that those things are carried out. Somebody talked about creation of state. This is the most cumbersome, project that this country will ever embark on. They have marginalized us. They have given us 5 states. The rest are having 6, 6, and 7. Every time they throw it about to let us be talking about it when they're not serious. The only way a state can be created is by an executive bill from Mr. President himself. And if he loves us, if he loves the Southeast, now is the time when they are controlling the majority in the judiciary, majority in the Senate, majority everywhere.
Did you say majority in the judiciary?
I said majority in the judiciary, majority in the Senate, majority in the House of Rep, and majority in the executive. So everything is them. They're all personalities, all personified. You see, this is time we sing on your mandate we shall stand.
Oh, yeah,
so I'm sure that if this bill is brought on your mandate, it's issue of asking the Southeast where do you want a state. Okay, you talked about the TT state. I know about when it was formulated, and the issue is those who formulated it whether they can actualize it, because it starts from Anambra South, crafts into Isuochi, and gets into Ebonyi, a 1-lane state. That starts from one end and end the other. Again, let them allow the Igbos to go and decide which state they want. I think
they have done that. They have asked Igbos, go and decide your state.
They'll bring out when
the National Assembly have also given the salaries.
They are not serious. I said until the executive bill comes from the president.
Executive bill to amend that section of the Constitution, and then they are serious. But are we ready too? If they make such pronouncement, the Southeast ready.
Let them give us first.
Would they speak from both sides of their mouth?
Let them give us first.
All right, let's go to the next question.
Who gets it? Then somebody talked about Buhari saying attack on the Boko Haram. That's an old speech. He made it to chase away Jonathan, and when Jonathan was chased away and he came in, he started promoting them, because he couldn't have this. He didn't disarm them. Started making them, granting them amnesties and putting them into the Nigerian army, which they are denying, of course, and so on and so forth. So anything that goes up must come down. And he who goes round must turn around.
All right.
So that's it.
All right.
Then on a final note, I want to state that Van Anambra, just yesterday or day before yesterday, I was at Nnewi, where I went to buy a plumbing material to put up my thing. I saw that all the shops were closed. There is a red tape running all through, and people were complaining, blah blah, because they said a new tax had been imposed on them. And I laughed. I laughed at them. I said, when you were busy during the election, even those who didn't want to vote came out to ask for their own money so that they get money for the election. They know that this money has to be recovered. And these are so you have taken your own bit. Now you have to pay your bit so that you can enjoy government continued largesse. So Kaige Wendy, these 4 years, next March, we give Charingwamba for next 4-year tenure. Let's all be prayerful and pray and pray for him, so that he gives out his best. If he decides otherwise, then we take. I won't leave me off. All
right, thank you so much, Chief Joe Martin Susan DK, for your time, and then also for being here. We also want to appreciate our listeners and those who watched us live, and then those who listened as well but couldn't come on to make comments. We want to appreciate everyone. You made all these things the way they are. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. We are going to do this next week, Saturday. Remember, it's still onward December, and we've got so much to do. We've got so much to do here on Udala 104.7 FM. My name is Tony Olisa Mbeki. Do have a wonderful weekend.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
When the city sleeps, the river remembers. When the drums call, Onitsha awakens. This December, the call grows louder as Udala Radio joins forces with the Golibe Festival.